F-Zero is the second title to be released in this limited time special price for 30 cents. It'll be that price until mid-March. Now, one of the first things that you'll notice is that I'm terrible at this game. It's almost embarrassing. Sure, the game can be really hard at times with the crazy turns you have to do. My only experience with this title is renting it from Blockbuster when I was a kid. If I remember right, I was just as bad. But I thought with age and playing more video games, I would get better. I guess not. It didn't look as great as some of the games nowadays, but at the time the graphics were outstanding. And that was all due to a special technique, which was Mode 7 graphics. It kind of made it so they could fake 3D. And quite a few titles implemented this into their games. Now, there really aren't that many options to play in this game. There's a Grand Prix mode and a practice mode, and that's about it. Now, there are a few cars that you could choose from. Each have their own positives and negatives, from the handling to speed or acceleration. Now, like I said, this is a racing game, not some kart racer where you have to deal with items or fighting off the other drivers. That's not to say that you don't have to deal with the other drivers. They're not going to actively try and take you out. But I do have to say, for a racing game, it really did show off the sense of speed, and that was really cool. Now, there is a power meter which will tell you how much damage is done to your car. If you let it go all the way down, your car explodes. So you're going to need to be careful not to hit the walls or the other drivers too much, or it'll be game over for you. Now, to help you out, as you're starting a new lap, you can go into the pits while you're driving and it will repair your car. You usually can't get too much repairs done. Since you have to be speeding through the course, you have to do it fairly quickly. So you kind of have to do little by little as each lap goes by. Now, there are a lot of tracks for you to race in, with a lot of different locales. So there's something for everybody in this game. Unfortunately, doing the game in Mode 7 graphics meant everything was kind of zoomed in and really pixely. That's not to say it was bad, it was just different. One of the things that I really didn't like was often I would pass cars thinking I was getting to a better placing, and it was just another car I had already passed. This happened way too often. Now, there is no multiplayer in this game at all, and that felt strange. I'm used to racing games with plenty of multiplayer, and this type of game would normally scream for multiplayer, but there is no option for it. Now, just like Balloon Fight, this game has a restore feature where you can save anywhere and you can pick up the game right where you left off. And all of the controls were reprogrammable, so you can change it to your personal preferences. Now, the game was completely playable on the Gamepad, and that's pretty much where I played it most of the time. F-Zero is a fun, fast-paced racer. There are a lot of tracks for you to play, and it's basically a classic in its own right. If you can get this before the sale ends, I say go for it. It's totally worth the money. But even if you don't, I still think it's worth a buy.